And
Thank you.
I guess with that, so Creighton, you said that you wanted to say a few words?
Yes, I did. First, it was a real pleasure to join all of you. And I hope that all of you will have the opportunity, including the two advisors, will have an opportunity to eventually get to Namibia, whether it's before you finish WPI or after. It is definitely a country worth visiting. And I want to thank especially the two teams who did continue to work on the projects that were designed by sponsors in Namibia. But what's interesting is that I found all the other 4 projects to have potential application in Namibia. And so I think that the findings that the other 4 teams came up with, in fact, could be the basis for projects in Namibia in the future. And I'm sure that Joe and others will be happy to try to facilitate that going forward. So I really enjoyed, and of course, every time I hear what students have been doing on IQPs, I become, well, more educated, maybe not wiser, but more educated. And I really just wanted to thank all of you for a really tough term, in sense that I know that you all wanted to go to Namibia, and that's a really disappointing situation when you couldn't go. But I think you turned around and made, really incredible progress in coming up with these projects and completing this in a virtual environment. And I know how difficult it is, because this past term I was teaching ID 2050 to some students who would like to go off campus in a term. We don't know yet about that, but we may end up in a term continuing this virtual kind of education. So I'm learning a lot about what can be accomplished in actually carrying out the IQP in this kind of a situation. So thanks for that too.
Great, thank you, Creighton. And Ken, did you have some final words?
Yeah, I'd love. I'd love to say a few things to tag along with what Creighton was saying there. First off, this was a really unusual circumstance for you folks, and as someone who has spent 5 days more in Namibia than you have, I feel really honored to have been there, and I thank Creighton and Joe for kind of giving me the quick look-see of where you guys were supposed to be going. But the bottom line is that I really want to continue the thanks. First off, for the sponsors that hung with us, and those that couldn't. That's, we did the best we could, and for the people who are watching this show. Thank you for your interest and your and just your participation. But mostly, I got to thank these 23 students. This is a collaborative education program, and the bottom line, and I think I speak for Joe here, is that we all learn when we're working together, and we all, it can either be a good time or a bad time. This has been a really good time for me, surprisingly. I've talked to a lot of other advisors, other project centers who were struggling, trying to keep people motivated, trying to keep people on task. This group has been amazing. I've had a really exceptional time in this term, and I was as devastated as I think that all of you folks were. I mean, I was out my 2 plane tickets, and a lot of things happened from that. But the recovery time with you folks was absolutely amazing. I feel like I've gotten to know you at least as well as I would have if I'd been there with you in in Namibia. And I'm looking forward to continuing a relationship with you folks through your final year here. At some point, we should have a non-virtual get-together and a non-virtual Pauhana. You're invited to my house. But anyway, you can either work with teams that are struggling and you have to struggle to help them along, or you can just be there to dot their I's occasionally and cross their T's and let them go and just provide them guidance. And you folks were, wow, it was just a real pleasure. I'm really honored to be working with you folks. And and as I suspected, this is a stunning set of presentations. I mean, considering that you guys just turned it on. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And And again, thanks to sponsors that hung in there and everybody else that participated. It's what WPI is all about.
Great. Thanks so much, Ken. Thanks, Creighton. And I'll just, I'll tag along to that. Doing this type of work, and especially doing this work with you all over the past, since January, it really, there's a lot in the world to be cynical about. And, you reaffirm my faith in the people to come. So your commitment to impact solving big problems, and then the ability to adapt and work together to do so is extraordinary. So I'm deeply honored to have the privilege to continue, to work with you all. So thank you so much. And as I always say, if people that end a course with me is that we have this relationship now, right? From if I can be helpful to you now or 10 years from now, let me know how I can. So thank you so much for all of your hard work through challenging conditions, and we'll all see each other in Namibia someday, I hope. All right. Thanks so much. Take care, everyone.
Thank you very much, professors.
Thank you.
Thank you
So much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.